This is going to be a quick overview of how Hims & Hers, a sexual health brand for guys and girls, has been able to create an almost $200 million a month funnel. They currently do close to $200 million a month, almost exclusively online as an e-commerce company. And they haven't done this through any scummy tactics or scammy marketing. They've done it through an insane funnel, which I will take you through now. So first of all, this is one of their general ads, and we're just going to focus on the Hims side of it, right? And we're just going to focus on mainly the sexual health, which is going to be here. It's going to be premature ejaculation and erectile dysfunction, PE and ED. And we can see off rip their ads, they're super simple, right? Clean, very professional, but also super simple and talks directly to the target market, which is get hard, last longer. Literally, if you have PE and ED, these are going to be the exact things you want to see. Like, oh shit, that's talking directly to me. Super clean, doesn't seem scammy at all, seems like a professional thing, and they aren't trying to sell you. They're literally just asking you to learn more. And so when you click this, you're sent to this super clean, super simple start of their funnel. Now, the first thing you'll notice is that there's essentially no distractions, right? You've got a simple headline, you've got this basic image, which looks super nice and super clean, and on mobile, it works seamlessly as well. And then you've got the first question, and the first thing here is it's got 1, 2, and 3. And look how simple the question is. How do you want to improve your sex life, right? Super simple. You have almost not even processed what's happening, and the first thing you see is there's almost no friction. 3 questions, and if they're all like this, you'll be done in a couple seconds, right? And we'll just go along and click the next one. You'll see the next one, again, is super, super simple. It's literally a completely blank screen with only the question, right? And there's literally 2 options. And again, you get the last one. You've almost done the first part of the funnel. And if you're a customer, right, a potential customer, you're just thinking, how simple is this? You haven't even processed it. You're just answering these out of almost instinct. And look how simple the questions are. And all of them are talking directly to the pain point of the customer. And once you've got through it, you're literally greeted instantly with this good news. You've got options. Oh, great, right? And 3 simple dot points. They're showing off some clean, simple images. This is a very, very simple but clean funnel. Now you can scroll down, learn a bit more, right? But for the matter of fact, you're gonna land on this and think, all right, what's the next options, right? There's options, sweet. They're not trying to sell you, they're just saying you've got options. And they offer you 2 buttons. And this is where they employed their first trick, and this is genius, right? They offer you 2. This takes you from saying, oh, do I wanna find out? And maybe adding a point of friction where you'll leave to, okay, which option do I want to take? So now you want to stay in the funnel, it's just which path do you take? But the funny thing is if you go into both of these, you'll notice that they're literally the exact same landing page. So this doesn't make any difference what button you press, it just makes you stay in the funnel, which is the first trick, which is genius. From here, they literally take you through some simple questions. Again, instead of showing here, which by the way, they have a lot more questions to come now, and which is where they really drive home the conversions, right? They aren't showing you now how many questions they've got. You already instinctively, after the first few questions, think, all right, this is going to be simple, quick, and easy. And so you're not questioning how long it's going to take. And again, they're starting with some simple questions. And again, it's super simple. They show you some simple stats. And this is the next stage, right? They're showing you stats. They're trying to push the idea that Hims is the authority rather than selling anything. And you, as a customer, don't even think twice about it. You've just now subconsciously know Hims knows what they're talking about, and they've got stats to back it up. They haven't sold you anything yet, and you already trust them. And now you just start going through and feel like you're tailoring an experience to you, right? You're asking some basic questions, which again gets the customer to think about the exact pain points they are going through, which starts to bring it right to present and emotionally get them engaged. And you just keep clicking through, again, simple questions. And I'll just go through some of these until the next stage. Again, they're pushing the idea that Hims is the authority and making the customer feel connected to it and emotionally affected. Again, this dream outcome is getting pushed here, right? This idea that it is possible to fix. You don't even know how, you just know that Hims has something that can help fix your issue. You say you want to be recommended some treatments, and they give you this little loading page to think, all right, you're going to this next stage. And so you're interested, you're committed to the funnel already. And so we're just going to go through. I'm going to put in some random details. I don't even live in the States, but I'll pick a random state like Alabama and keep going. And they ask for your email. And this is an important step, right? Is because if you do not convert, they will be able to then have your contact details to follow you up with an amazing email marketing campaign which will eventually, I think I saw a stat, about 80% of people end up buying. So they have an insane email marketing campaign that gets more customers if you don't buy on this first time. All right, I just put in a random email and a random password so that we can keep going through these next steps. And they have, again, a simple page to keep you in the funnel and keep zero distractions. The only thing you know what to do is click next. You keep going. You committed, right? Now we get some really personal questions which get them thinking even deeper, right? About who's your partner? How often do you have sex? When do you have sex? All these things to get the customer really in that emotional state and right where they want them at the point of most pain so that they're most ready to buy. Now again, this next stage here, which I'll mention, is they ask you about what is your height and what is your weight. This is beginning to feel very, very tailored, right? Everything is starting to feel like, all right, I'm actually getting a recommendation. This isn't, oh, I'm answering some sales questions. These are actually like, all right, what's your height? What's your weight? We're genuinely going to start calculating some recommendations that could help you. And now you're already trusting them. You're already in that emotional state. And you're now going, all right, this is very, very tailored specifically for me so I can get my personal recommendation. Let's put in some random details and keep going. I just answered a whole bunch of questions and now I finally got through it, but it still felt seamless. And one thing I forgot to mention is that the more complicated questions that require more looking through answers, more thinking, were towards the end where they might create the most friction, but at the end you're the most invested, so you're least likely to actually leave the funnel and continue answering the questions. Because you're this far in already, why not finish it? They met us again with the two options. And you're curious, what are they? Let's keep going, right? It's again, so simple to keep going. Just a few more little things to keep you interested. A few more just pushing the authority and the trust of HIMS to keep you going. And these are simple things you barely have to read. And now they're reviewing your responses. I bet they almost guarantee they've already had it calculated in the back end. And look at this, generic Viagra. Super simple, right? Now, this is super foreign if you're a dropshipper, right? Just stating the product like this, literally a white background with the product. There's no social proof they're talking about. There's no trust building. None of this needs to be stated like a normal dropshipping page, which has all these bundles, social proof, images, videos, all this stuff to try and get you to buy just one product. They've just simply, you've gone through this funnel, you now trust them like crazy, and you feel like it's tailored directly to you. And this doesn't feel like you're being sold to. This is like, based on your answers, this is what we recommend, right? Generic Viagra, which is simple. They don't have a lot of products. And so it's like you could answer this a million different ways and you'd probably very often just be recommended the same product. But because you've answered all those questions, you feel like this is super tailored. And they push this idea, if you look here, selected for you based on these responses, right, which you gave, right? And they go into a little bit more, you know, you've got some treatment details, some other things, right, how the medication works. But this is literally it. Like, this is the final like landing page after answering all the questions. If this was a normal dropshipping store, you'd land on a product where you've got all this social proof, all these things, and they're overwhelming the customer. The customer doesn't feel sold to at all in this system. And another small thing they mention is as low as $4 per use, which is just going, it's super cheap, and this is what we recommend. And it's not even saying buy now, it's just saying continue, right? So you click continue. And this is where they start asking you some simple questions, right? How often do you anticipate to use it? And they give you the most popular options, which are probably the easiest to calculate, and then some other crazy options. Let's just go with 10 times the use, right? This is just answering questions, not about being sold to, but how often do you feel like you'd use it, right? And the customer isn't feeling like they're being sold to ever. They're just feeling like they're answering questions to best suit them and get their recommendations. And now they offer another option, right? But again, it's not feeling like you're being sold to. They're offering you to switch to a daily plan, right? Which is again, upselling you into the next one. So you just click that, right? And now, if you look at this, right? What dropshipper is doing this? No one, right? You haven't added all this social proof, really. They've added some super well, which is all they needed, right? To push the authority, but you're not pushing any level of salesness about it. It feels like you're just getting a recommendation. They're wrapping it up, right? Now they're actually making you wait up to 6 hours. Imagine making a customer that you think's about to buy wait 6 hours to get a response on whether you're going to let them buy. It just seems so counterintuitive, but it actually puts the authority in the fact that there's a licensed professional looking at your responses and they will decide, oh yeah, this is right for you, which again pushes the authority so much and doesn't make you feel like you're being sold to. It makes you feel like you've gone to the doctors and they've gone, yeah, use this. And so now you're almost guaranteed to go, this will work for me. And then they have this final thing that talks about if prescribed, which goes, all right, you might not be prescribed this, right? Prescribed, not sold or anything like that, prescribed. And they sell this little idea of discreet packaging, which gets rid of the fear that, people might see what you're buying, right? It's so simple and it's so counterintuitive to everything that dropshippers have done, which is to get the sale as quick as possible. This is just getting them to seamlessly go through a funnel. And in these next stages, you'll notice, look, you're putting in your shipping details. You aren't even buying it and you're putting in your shipping details. And it's if you're prescribed treatments, where should we send it, right? This is simple questions. Again, it doesn't feel like you've been sold to. It's like, if you're prescribed, where would you like it to be sent? And you go, all right. And so you put in some random name, right? I've just put in these completely random details, but you've put in your shipping details and a phone number and you just keep going, right? All right, here, I'm gonna have to just upload any random details. I'll just put in some random image I found online and then we're just gonna keep going. I put in some random details to get that. And now we're looking at the actual payment part where you aren't even, by the way, paying anything. Due now, 0. And look what's pre-selected, 6 months. This is what's recommended, right? $234 charged every 6 months. The lowest you can go is 3-month plan. You cannot select something under $147 and you're automatically subscribed to them. So you just think about this as a normal dropshipper that's competing with Hims and Hers, right? You're selling something for say $50, right? You get that one-time payment of $50. It took you $30 to get there and you have to sell your ass off to convince someone to buy it, right? Conversion rate's low, pain in the ass, and you've got fuck all profit left over to actually keep scaling. Hims and Hers doesn't make it feel like it's selling anything. Super, super tailored. The conversion rate would be off its tits on this, right? If you get to the end of it. And you're buying at minimum $147. The profit on this would be insane, right? And you're automatically subscribed, so they're getting MRR off rip, right? Pre-selected 6-month plan, $234. You know how much more they can scale? They have like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times more to work with to get one customer than any of the competitors do. And they're automatically subscribed and it feels seamless and they keep that trust, right? And you aren't even buying anything. You don't have to buy any of this now, so you're not getting this friction of buying now. They're like, all right, we'll just wait. And they delay the one biggest friction part of their funnel, which is buying, to later when you're prescribed. You put in your card details and you literally just pay for it now, but you don't. Up to 6 hours later, you get an email, and yeah, you've been prescribed it, and all you have to do is click buy. You've already put your card details, they already have your shipping address, they already know where they're sending it and how much to charge you, and you've already selected it. You just have to click buy. There is no friction. You have to put your card details in again and all this friction that's going to make you not want to buy it. You automatically do it. And this is how they have been able to outscale anyone, because one sale can get them, another 10 customers worth in profit, right? So they can outscale any competitors by an obscene amount, and they can build and create this insane $200 million a month funnel. And this is why they are worth almost $8 billion and publicly listed. So take this and if you can apply it to your business, if you have a supplement business or anything like that, this would be an insane funnel. And this is why it is worth so much. Just look at that market cap, look at their annual reports, and look at the funnel. It's all in plain sight, and it's not impossible for anyone else to pull this off. And this is why they are worth so much. So now go get that money, boys.